it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a little bit of a skincare update. I've done a lot of videos of first impressions, specifically with Biologique Recherche, and I want to tell you kind of where I'm at with my products that I have purchased this year. Some of the products I've almost completely used up, while others I have used about half, and then the newer products I've only used a little bit. But some of them, even if I haven't finished them up, I've kind of already determined whether or not I like them, and if I would be considering repurchasing them. So I want to give you an update on that. There's also a couple other brands mixed in there that I want to let you know, like, if I like them or not, and I can show you how much I've used. Before we get on into all of that, I want to kind of just do my nighttime routine. This is my retinol night, so I just want to show you what I'm using and give you a little bit of an update. So, in terms of my routine. So last night I did an exfoliating mask, so the only exfoliating I'm going to be doing tonight is with the retinol. Now, I usually start with my Retinol Eye Serum from Medik8. This is the Retinol Eye TR. And I've been using it pretty consistently every other night, 3 times a week when I use my retinol cream. And I literally just apply it with this little spatula underneath my eye. And I go up the orbital bone. And, you know, I have a little fine lines, crow's feet, from smiling, and I would say, you know, the fine lines are still there. Just like to rub it in a little bit, but I think they've kind of diminished very slightly. But to be honest, I haven't been using this very much. I've like literally used this much, but a little goes a long way. You use a very small amount every time. And remember, you're only using it around the eyes. But I think I've noticed like a slight improvement in my fine lines. But I also like to follow up the eye serum with a regular eye cream, and this one is from Belief. This is the Pete Miracle Revital Eye Cream, and it is supposed to improve elasticity. Now, I have gone through quite a bit of this. I don't know if you can see, I'm like well beyond this mark below that, but yeah, I still have a ton of eye cream to go through before I'm completely finished. It's not a bad eye cream, I just don't know that it's quite as hydrating as I want it to be. It is fairly thick, which I like. But, you know, I still notice, like, when I wake up the next morning, I need to reapply it. My eyes feel dry, so it's not, like, super long lasting. So I think next time I'm looking for an eye cream, I may go for the Biologique Recherche one with the metal tip. I think it's Biofixing eye cream. I really like that one, so I may consider getting that, but it's going to be a long time when I'm actually out of this, so if I bought it now, I'd be holding on to it for quite a long time before I actually opened it. Next up, I'm going to use the Medik8 Crystal Retinol 6 straight onto my skin. I have cleansed before this. I don't have anything else on my skin, so we're just going to use a pump and a little bit all over my face. And I do this usually on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays. It's easier to remember. 3 times a week. I do 3 times a week because I'm in my 30s. If I was in my 40s, I would do 4 times a week, and so forth. I really like this retinol because it doesn't irritate or flake, but I feel like it does something. It doesn't like help me with my chin acne though, so it's not like perfect, but I would consider repurchasing this. I have used it sort of fairly quickly. I mean, I still have a good chunk left, probably another month or so left in this, maybe more. This I have like basically the whole bottle, so I may consider picking this up. We'll see how I feel after I'm fully out. This is a pricey retinol. I think it's about $80 for one tube, so we'll see. And that, you know, it's almost the same price as getting a prescription strength retinol. I just like how my skin handles this one a lot better. I also could consider, you know, upgrading to the next level up. It's just that also increases in price, so something to think about from me at least. Next up, I usually do, sometimes I wait, sometimes I'm in a rush and I just pile on the products after I put on the retinol. It absorbs pretty quickly. It's not sticky or moisturizing at all. So I like to follow up with a serum, and the one I've been using for quite some time is the Kypris Antioxidant Dew, and this is a really calming, hydrating, soothing, milky serum. And I surprisingly have been going through this rather quickly, but it's really nice. It does leave a bit of a sheen on your skin, so I use it at night, but you can use it during the day as well. The only thing, it's a little bit sticky and tacky at first, but then it absorbs. So I have used about this much, so I have like this much left, and this is like a rather large bottle. This is 47 milliliters, 0.159 fluid ounces, so you're getting about an ounce and a half. Normally most serums are only an ounce, so you get a lot of product in here. This is a pricey brand and this is a pricey product, but if you're looking for something really calming and smoothing and milky, I really recommend this. The only thing that this doesn't travel well, so I have to really make sure it stays screwed, but it easily unscrews. And if you put it in your travel bag and it kind of gets upside down or presses against something else and somehow this comes open, I've had a lot of it leak into my backpack. Maybe that's why I've been, so much is gone already. So that wasn't fun. So not a super travel friendly bottle. I don't love like the little dropper in it because it's so large. You can overdo it and really apply too much to your face at a time, so you have to really be careful. So I think this is a beautiful bottle. I just think, and it's glass, it's heavy, it feels luxurious, it's pretty. It's just the dropper is a little, I don't know, inconvenient, especially for travel. So just think about that. But as far as repurchasing, I'm not sure. I have like other sort of hydrating serums, peptide serums kind of in the wings, ready to go, ready to use. So if I were to repurchase, it wouldn't be immediately because I don't quite have a need, but I also don't quite have a replacement. I think what I would replace it with, to be honest, is the Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum. It has ceramides, niacinamide, peptides, hyaluronic acid. So in a sense, like I would be getting some extra hydration and nourishment from the serum. So it's kind of the same. I also still have my giant bottle of the Hada Labo Premium hyaluronic acid lotion, and essentially like a watery toner essence with a bunch of hyaluronic acid in it. So that could be like an additional sort of hydration step that I could replace this with. So that's kind of what I've been using. I'm going to use this till I use it up because it is really good. It's just the price and the packaging kind of deters me from wanting to really repurchase it immediately. Alright, next up I'm gonna follow up with my nighttime moisturizer, and this is from by Repurchase. This is the Cream Dermo Perfiante, and this is really good. I have used a ton of it, as you can see near the bottom. And what I like about this serum is that it's not, even though it's for like acne prone, oily combination skin, acne scarring, all of that, it's still really nourishing and hydrating. So I really like that about this cream. And for me, this is like a definite repurchase. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to repurchase it at the moment, because I'm not completely out yet, and I like to put off my BR purchases as long as possible because the products are so expensive, and I really only want to get them until I run out and I feel like, yeah, I need a replacement. So we're near that point with this guy, but not quite. I really like this one though, so this is a definite repurchase for me, and I'm still using it in my routine. Yeah, so that's it for my nightly routine. I just want to give you a little update and show you that. I did want to use a new spot patch from Zitstica, but I just put lotion on that area. So I may, and like right here I want to put it, I may end up using this tomorrow morning and just leave it on all day after I wash my face. So sorry about that, I won't be using that in this video. It is a one-time use, so anyways, let's get into my updates, my full-on updates. By Repurchase, I started buying it like around the beginning of the year, like February, January, and then I just went kind of full force after that, especially after I started my channel. By Repurchase is one of those brands on YouTube that is picking up speed, but there's not a lot of skincare reviews on the brand, and I think it's probably because they don't do a lot of promotions and PR for like normal folks. Unless you're part of a spa, you work for a spa, you're an esthetician, your access to getting like products from this brand is probably very limited. So I don't know if that's why people don't review it, or like the bigger names don't review it because they don't get it for free, but that's kind of my hunch. But there are plenty of videos out there on the brand if you are looking for it, and there are some more established YouTubers that maybe don't focus solely on skincare that do mention this brand. One I can think of is Abby Bliss White. She mostly does makeup, high-end makeup reviews, but she does mention some of her skincare. I think she is in her 40s or 50s, and she uses a lot of by Repurchase, and she freely, openly talks about that. And of course, she's not getting paid, she's not getting any free products. So I just think it's one of those brands that's also really hard to access and buy. You either buy it from a spa, and their facials are not cheap, so most people aren't going to get a facial, a by Repurchase facial, because they're just crazy amount of money for like one time. But also, if you want to buy them online, you usually have to find a spa that sells them online, and you have to create an account, you have to sign in, and then you can see the prices and buy the products. Usually the websites don't display their prices unless you have an account and log in, so they want to like be able to consult with you, talk to you, have some sort of relationship in case you want to ask questions about the brand or you have an issue. So they want you to have that account access. That's at least how it is in the US. There are certain products that are not available in certain countries. Talking about P50, they don't have the P50 1970 version in some countries. So a couple of things with this brand. Yeah, there's some access issues. and it's just not really available in a regular department store. You can't just walk in and go get it. So it makes it really challenging, I think, for, you know, people to buy this. I think people know about it, they've read about it, they're curious about the brand, but also like the prices are a big deterrent for a lot of people, especially in a complex, lengthy, full-on skincare regime that Biologique Recherche offers. There's just so many products. The brand can be really overwhelming. So that being said, I just went ahead and dove in because I'm curious, I'm into skincare, I'm interested in this stuff. And yeah, I just really wanted to try out the brand, and I feel like I have a pretty good feel for it now. I do want to I'm going to grab my P50 for you, and I'll be right back. Alright, so let's start with the P50 and my thoughts. So I tried a small bottle of the regular P50, not the 1970 version, so there's no phenol in that one. I enjoyed it. I kind of noticed that it was working exfoliating. It smelled horrible, of course, and I got through like the little mini travel bottle fairly quickly. But I found it to be very irritating. My skin turned very red, and so I thought, you know, I don't want to use this every day because my skin was turning so red. So I went to like once a day, but then I finished like the bottle. Now with P50, the 50 is for 50 days. I actually haven't completely gone through 50 days of using this like once a day, 50 days straight. And for me, that's pretty hard because I like to use other types of exfoliants, and I like to use retinol. So I didn't want to use both the P50 and my retinol in one night. And I know that people do, and they balance it out. I've kind of been rotating these like every other night when I can. So I moved to the P50 V 1970. So this is the step down from P50. The V is for vitamins. It's a little bit more tolerable, but I still notice redness and kind of some irritation and stinging. And that is with me watering it down and, you know, soaking a cotton pad with water and then applying a little bit of product. And then, you know, tapping it on my face, right? I still get redness with this product. So I think I will have to either, once I'm done with this, I will either have to not use the 1970 version of this or go even a step down in strength. Or I'm just gonna have to use this not so often. Now I'm currently kind of using this every other day, and it's been fine. It's just like I don't want to give up retinol to use this every day. So I'm trying to find my balance still. I don't think this is a bad product. I just don't think I'm the kind of user that can use this every day, twice a day, like the directions say. I think it's a bit too much for me. Like I benefit from exfoliants, but this is like too extreme. And I do get easily red, and this really does that for me. So even with watering down, so I think I'm gonna have to continue to play with the formula. I have used about this much of the product, so I still have quite a bit to go, but I'm using actually very little because I'm watering it down, so it's gonna take me quite some time, but I'm gonna continue to use it, continue to trying out. So this one is very much in process. Next up, I want to talk about Masque Vivant, a very popular product with Biologique Recherche. I've completely used this guy up, and I was able to do so by using this religiously twice a week for a few months, and it lasted quite a long time, and I was pretty generous with my application. I applied it all over. I do want to repurchase this. I think it is very good at purifying, clarifying, anti-aging. It has a lot of benefits, and it's one of the more reasonably priced items with the brand at $70 for 100 milliliters of product. Just for me right now, I already kind of bought a new sort of replacement, and it's not a replacement, but it sort of does the same thing. So I bought a couple new masks from Loreal that I've just started trying, and this would be my kind of purifying and detox mask set that I will now be using once a week on my Sunday self-care routine instead of the Mask Vivant. So this is an exfoliating peel, this berry one, and this is the detox mask with helps with like getting to some of the deeper acne. So that's kind of my replacement for Mask Vivant. Eventually I do imagine buying this in the future. I just kind of wanted to try something new, try Loreal. There was a sale. There's never a sale on this brand. So yeah, I think a future purchase, just not a right now. On the other mask that I have, Mask VIPO2, I've really only been exclusively using this around my eyes for brightening. And while I like it for that, I don't know that I love it for the rest of my face. It has a lot of clay, and it's not super hydrating like I want it to be. It's kind of a different kind of mess. As I said, it's a lot of clay. It does dry down. It's not like quite what I thought it was gonna be. So I think after I'm done, I'm not sure I would actually repurchase it. I think, you know, using a brightening serum like I have already is gonna be okay around my eyes for brightening purposes. I think I want to try something else. But I have used quite a bit of it. I think I'm down to here now. So that tells you kind of where I'm at and my thoughts on it so far. Mask Visio-Lasting Plus. I have quite a bit of this. I have about half of the bottle left. This one is for dehydration. And I have to say, like, I like it. I use it when I remember, so it's not like a weekly thing for me to use this. It's like whenever I think about it. And this isn't as like hydrating as I thought it would be. It has a lot of clay. It's a white mask, and it's just doesn't give me the immediate satisfaction that my skin's getting a lot of hydration. I'm sure it is, but it just doesn't feel that way. So it doesn't make me want to use it that much. It's not a bad mask, it's just not quite what I thought it was going to be. And it does dry down. It doesn't stay like moist on your face. So I don't think I will be repurchasing Visio-Lasting Plus. As far as, I've tried a few samples of mask, and one that has stood out to me is Cream Mask Vernix. This is the hydrating mask that really stood out to me, and it stays, it's like a thick moisturizer essentially. It's a brown cream, and it stays moist, and it's just super nice. Even more moist than Cream Dermo Purifiante. They have similar textures, but the moisture level in Vernix is even higher. The only thing so that's kind of my next in line for masks in terms of BR, but the only thing that's holding me back is the price. I believe it's $200 for one mask. So, sad face, right? So I have to really think about that purchase and when I want to make that purchase, because it's such a big one. And really, that mask isn't really for my skin type. I just really like it. I would have to like kind of use it sparingly because it's so hydrating. I don't want to clog my pores. So, I mean, even though it's $200, it would, I'm sure, last me a long time because I couldn't use it as much or as much quantity as I use this cream. So those are my thoughts on the mask. In terms of creamy hydration, as I said, I would repurchase this. I think I have a couple moisturizers in the wings that I would probably try to use up first, but we'll see what happens. I may change my mind. So I actually have, so in terms of moisturizers, I use this at night because it's a little thick. But I have the Kate Somerville Peptide K8 Power Cream, which is a ceramide cream. I've been using this in the day. So once I'm out of the Derma Piofronte, I could use this day and night. I also have the Indeed Hydroluron Intense Moisture Lotion. This is not as like super fancy as BR, but it is pretty hydrating and has hyaluronic acid. So, and it's midweight to thick, so I could, you know, start using this at night. Otherwise, I'm not really using this yet. So those are just kind of my thoughts. I definitely do want to repurchase it in the future though at some point. For other creams, and this is a targeted emulsion. This is the Emulsion Gel Biosensible SR, and I've been using this in the daytime as a moisturizer and treatment before I put on my cakes. I actually could get away with just putting this on and not this one as well, but I bought this mostly to help with my redness, and I don't know that it's really made a huge difference, and I am almost completely out of this guy. What I like about it is the texture and the light hydration that it offers, and it's really long-lasting hydration. It's just super nice and blends into the skin just so beautifully. It's a really nice formula. And there's really no smell. It's just really, really nice. But in terms of what it's supposed to do, which is help with redness, I'm not sure it really does that. But I do think it provides an excellent amount of hydration, really amazing texture. The only thing with this, I love the texture. It doesn't do what it says it's supposed to do. It's also like $200 for 50 milliliters. So, you know, for me, I either get this or the Cream Mask Vernix for $200. I kind of have to pick one. The Vernix is definitely the thicker of the two. This is a little more lightweight, a little more gel-like. We're heading into winter, so I might go with the Vernix before I repurchase this guy again. But really, really nice. If you're looking for kind of a lighter texture moisturizer from BR and you're not sure what to get, I would try this guy out. Just be aware there's two versions of this, and this is the SIBO regulating one. So keep that in mind. Okay, we're done with moisturizers. Quickly, before I move into the BR serums, I want to talk about a retinol oil from Jordan Samuel. I actually spilled a lot of this a while ago, which really sucked. I don't know what happened. I knocked the bottle over, so even though there's like quite a bit used up, I actually didn't use that much of this. I think for me, this was too oily of a texture, even though if I didn't use a lot of it. So this is like an alternative to retinol creams. The retinol oil. It has sweet almond oil, kernel oil, marula seed oil, primrose, soybean, a lot of different oils in here. I just thought it was too much for me, and so I wouldn't repurchase this. Okay. I love Jordan Samuel though. Love his cleansers. So good. Okay, on to serums. I haven't completely finished any of the serums that I have. So I have 5 serums. One of them is a finishing serum. I'll start with that. Silk Plus, it's a finishing serum, so you're going to use this as the last step after your moisturizer to kind of seal everything in. And I think this is a really lightweight, silky finishing serum. I think I've barely used it though, because for me, I'm kind of using it as a smoothing canvas before makeup. Otherwise, it can be a little bit much for my skin. I think, especially if I have active breakouts, I don't want to put this on my skin because I don't want to seal all of that. So I don't know if there's like a thinner version of this finishing serum in the brand that I would like better, possibly. I just think even with a little amount, it just kind of scares me to use this on my skin because I'm afraid of what's gonna happen if I put makeup on. I'm gonna break out or whatever. Even with no makeup, I'm gonna break out. So I kind of have reservations about using that. I didn't realize like that was the case before I bought it. It does feel really smoothing though, so if you prefer to use an oil instead of like a primer before your makeup, this brand has a few options to check out. But as I said, I've used very little of it, so I'm not sure I would be repurchasing anything like that for a long time. Okay, so I'll start with the bigger serums that I have. This is the Serum A Glyca. This is supposed to be like an anti-aging, anti-glycation serum, and it's really nice. It's really thin and watery. I just don't know that I've noticed a difference, and I've used about half of it. I'm gonna completely finish it. These serums only last 6 months, so you have to really kind of work your way through them and make sure you finish them in that short amount of time. I just think these serums are really slow to do what they say they're gonna do, and that's great. You know, for sensitive skin, you want to go slow, you want to be gentle, and I think this is what, you know, these serums are doing. They're also especially designed to be mixed and cocktailed, and you use like several serums at once, so it kind of makes sense that they're not like the most potent formulas when you think about it that way. I just think a lot of people want skincare to work a little bit quicker than what BR does. I think you have to kind of continuously use stuff and things go a little bit slower. So I haven't noticed a huge difference in this serum, so I wouldn't be repurchasing it. The Complex Erborian, this is the acne, the red, dark red acne serum, and I was really excited to get this. This is actually one of their more popular products, harder to find online, especially the large size, and I got it from like a different website than I normally use. And you know, I think I wanted to really like this, and I've used quite a bit of it. It's just that, you know, even using this like once a day for many days in a row, a couple weeks in a row, I found that when it came to my chin acne, it didn't really do much very quickly. I think it sort of slowly worked, but then stuff still came back. So I wasn't impressed really with its ability to treat and prevent very quickly. And that's what you really want with an acne serum. You want things to move fast. At least that's what I'm looking for. I think though, if you want a serum from BR and you do have acne prone skin, I think this makes sense to pick up, just know that it's a bit of a slower process to work. It's gentle, it's not irritating. It's definitely something worth trying out. I just don't think I will be picking this up. I kind of already have a replacement. I have a kind of a blemish serum, and this one has like salicylic acid as its like main ingredient. This is the René Rouleau anti-bump. This is for deeper cysts and supposed to help with chin acne, hormonal acne. So I just started using this. So we're gonna see like what happens. But this is definitely, to me, a little stronger, a little more targeted for acne, whereas the acne serum didn't quite do it for me, at least not so far. My other serums, so I have Splenodermine. This is a firming serum. I haven't used that much of it. Probably because I read like you don't want to use other irritating products the same night that you use this. But when I do use this, I definitely feel a firming sensation. It definitely tightens things up, which is pretty dramatic. So in terms of like doing what it's supposed to do, I definitely feel it from this one. So that speaks to its efficacy and how well it works. The only thing I really don't like about this serum in particular is the smell. I mean, I know a lot of Biologique Recherche doesn't smell good, but this one smells like, I don't know, like dog food or something. Like it's not good. It's got this like meaty smell. But I do feel it working. I just worry about using it that often because, especially when I'm using other irritating products. So this can be a bit of an irritant. So I'm going to get through it. I'm going to see where I'm at after I'm done with it in terms of like, do I feel like I really need a firming serum? Like, I like the sensation, but do I really need it right now? That's something I have to think about. This one is purely like a hydration serum, and I think it's really nice. It's really lightweight. This is the Extraits Tissularis, and as I said, it's purely for hydration. It's really nice. It's like a nice lightweight sort of essency serum, very liquidy, and it's great. If that is all you want from a serum, I would suggest this one. The older version, I believe, had like animal byproducts in it. The newer version is all plant-based. I think this is the newer version. I don't see any sort of animal ingredients in it. I know a lot of people like the older version. They think it works better than this one, but this is what I have to go off of. I think it's nice. I think, though, for the price, the Hada Labo lotion works just as well, unfortunately. Also, the Sulwhasoo First Cure Activating Serum reminds me of this guy quite a bit in terms of like feeling immediately refreshed and hydrated. Alright, I think that is it. I think I covered all my serums, all my BR stuff. What else do I have? I bought the cryo sticks. I don't use them as often as I thought I would, just because I get crazy busy and I don't always remember that I have them in my fridge. So it's the kind of thing you kind of have to set yourself a little reminder, a little note, like, hey, when you put on your mask, use those cryo sticks. So something I just have to remember to use. Otherwise, I think that's kind of it on what I wanted to update you on. I've been using this brand for a few months now. Everything else I kind of have in my collection is still pretty new, I'd say, for me to like tell you whether or not I want to repurchase it. yeah, I think I covered everything, all my steps. I've been keeping these serums in the fridge, just so you guys know. I have a little mini fridge on my vanity. I also keep my retinol cream in there, my egg cream. None of this is totally necessary, it's just my preference to keep this stuff cool. I'm just gonna close my fridge door. I have been super busy with work, and so I apologize for this sort of setup and lighting, but also when I try to film during the day, the sun's being blocked by smoke, so this actually looks a lot better than when I filmed earlier, which was quite the disaster. Alright guys, those are my updates. Please let me know if you have any questions about any products from any of the brands I mentioned. As I said, like, some of the stuff I'm still in progress, haven't quite decided whether or not I'm going to repurchase. But I wanted to give you an update as to where I'm at right now, and this is beginning of September. Alright guys, please comment below, click like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.